This copyrighted telecast may not be reproduced, retransmitted, or used in any form without the authorized written consent of NASCAR Broadcasting. NASCAR would like to thank all of our loyal fans for your continued support, and we hope you enjoyed today's broadcast.
Wanted to get through, but we haven't seen that lately. Now Frank's always been a factor in these races.
Yeah, he has, and part of that is the competitive
today, and he said what is most special to them is the fact that Frank has been able to stand up and compete as hard as he ever has, even with all the rookies that have been in the Arca series this year. And I spoke to Frank a little bit too, and Frank said to get this 7th title is absolutely just a dream come true.
We got a big one over in turn 2.
Shot right up the racetrack.
Yeah, hardly replay, we can see exactly.
Oh, and we got more cars involved. The 95 getting tagged right there, Roger Williams, and the 9 of Joey Miller is involved. The 2 cars, Eric Almirola and the Joe Gibbs entry, who is hoping for such a good day here today. And it looks like Eric's afternoon is over. The 64 is involved as well. Let's watch. It's 64 where it started.
Frank's underneath him, and when we get here a little bit farther, the 64
just gets a little loose. Looks like
got loose. What happened?
Oh, he went just about head first into that wall. There is a safety barrier over there now, isn't there, Kenny?
Yes, and we see about a 30% reduction in the G-forces there. I guarantee you that safer barrier right there made a tremendous
big help.
And Kimmel trying to push past as well.
They use that 13 car as a peg, and Bobby Gerhardt looked to the outside of Kyle, and he needs to get around him because you see Frank Kimmel and Aaron Crocker just reel him right in when them cars get too wide. They punch a big hole in the air when you get them too wide like that. So them guys, Frank and Aaron, it's just what they wanted to see.
Chris Loff's going to get caught in a pick here now. It looks like he's going to get hung in the middle. Oh, we got one spinning around on the pit lane. That's Mert.
Keith Mert. Wow. Running in the top 10, not what Keith wanted to see there.
Well, he was involved in a couple bumping incidents coming down the...
I would think if he can get it restarted, we first coming in to pit road at Daytona or Talladega to judge your speed and get slowed down where you have to be at pit road speed.
It's like been laps on a fuel run, green flag lap. So it'll be interesting to see now whether the 10 car can go the distance if we do indeed get some more yellow flag laps.
Well, and you might get another one right here, Bob, as the start did not go smooth. And the 0 sits in the infield and then gets wrong. That's Tim Mitchell.
They're fairly evenly matched. Then it's, you know, you really need a little bit of help.
These guys are racing here really hard, I tell you.
Oh, we got a problem on the front stretch. The 45 and Johnny Leonard is involved as well.
Looks like Johnny may have lost his brakes. There he goes.
Richardson in that 45. Robert Richardson out of McKinney, Texas.
See the window net come out. Johnny Leonard, good news.
So that's our 3rd caution of the day.
And this will also put, if we have leader pit stops, we'll put fuel out of the question.
It's like to run around traffic. Just a log jam right there with Mark Gibson.
And Gibson gets into the wall and then just straighten back out and continues on.
Looks like he got the nose of the Williams brother lumber car. Unfortunate.
Boy, he was completely facing the wrong way and then got turned back around from the rest of the cars crashing and continued on.
See, that's Eric Darnell there in the 39 car did a very good job.
Off the corner. She's trying to lay back a little bit and get a good run to get you off the corner, but I don't know if she's got quite enough of what it's going to take to really slingshot around.
Bob Dillner, a lot of drivers will come to Arca and run at Daytona and Talladega for basically clearance to then compete with NASCAR in one of their 3 divisions at a super speedway.
And that's exactly the case, Ralph, for Craig Kinzer and also Aaron Crocker here today. NASCAR doesn't say you have to run, but they strongly suggest. And what happens is NASCAR keeps a close eye on how those newcomers to Arca and the big tracks like here at Talladega, actually how they do before they give them approval to come over to the NASCAR ranks and run. Well, the interesting thing is Vice President of Competition Robin Pemberton has been down here on pit road today watching both Craig Kinzer and Aaron Crocker. I spoke to him just a short time ago and he said, hey, I am impressed. Both of them are doing a fabulous job. I bet you we'll see them at Daytona come February.
I would say that's a pretty safe bet. Jeremy Clements, unfortunately, is putting his car back on the trailer. The driver out of Spartanburg, South Carolina, has blown up the motor in his number 3. His day is over.
See Kinzer drop down to the bottom of the racetrack, try and bust up that draft there a little bit. You know, what is he doing there, Kenny? I mean, he comes off the straightaway, he pulls down to the bottom. Is he in fear of possibly, though, when you pull out of the draft like that, you could go back?
Well, the 7 was up high for turn 4. Krisloff, just like he is there. But going up high, that's not going to help you unless the other cars are with you. Now, all that does is open up the door for Gerhardt and Aaron to maybe try to get me inside. So you saw the 7 get back in line. For anything to happen, Aaron, Krisloff, and Gerhardt need to get together.
Yep, exactly right. And as you see, is exactly as you were saying it, that 4 cars really bunched up and got back together when he opened that door. So he has to be careful when he's doing that. So you see Bobby Gerhardt looking towards the bottom. He's going to need Aaron to help him, obviously, and not sure if he's going to get that help there.
Don't forget, Craig Kinzer, outside of his race at the 2-mile Michigan International Speedway, the only time he's ever been on a track this big, or even close to being this big, all of his stuff in the sprint car, basically on the biggest tracks he'll see are half mile.
It's a huge change.
Strategy not nearly the same.
Now, and thankful
No mirrors.
No mirrors. That's exactly right. And that sounds like a small thing, but Kenny, when you all of a sudden you got to mirror it, it can be a distraction.
Oh, yeah. Even when you're used to it, it still bothers me. I look up there and see stuff I don't want to see.
Yep.
Craig Kinzer trying to do something his father did here a few years back in an IROC car. Win at the Talladega Superspeedway. He's got 5 laps to go.
He's got good help. You know, he's got Nextel Cup help, thankfully, and that's helped him, I'm sure, tremendously today. He's got good spotters. He's got good equipment, good crew, talking to him all the way through here, especially winding down on these laps, and I'm sure it's played a big part on his success here today at Talladega.
2 of the top 4 here today coming out of the winged sprint car ranks. Now, if you're Krisloff, is there anything you can do? If you cannot get Gerhardt and Crocker to close up, are you just stuck there? Or is there anything he can do?
If he can't get them to close up, his options are limited. Plus, you see, he's got some tape coming off the nose of his car again. It's still peeling back. He's running out of options, the way I see it.
Yeah, he really does need help from the back, and if Bobby cannot close up on him, really has no choice. He's a sitting duck. All he can do is protect that second place position and just hope that he can have a good second place position here today. If anybody's got anything, you're going to see it probably in another lap or so. They take, with 2 to go, that's the time to start dancing. These guys need to really start communicating right now. Like you say, even if Krisloff slows down a little bit and lets Gerhardt catch him, and then 2 of them guys can get a good run, that might be what it takes to really get around the 10 car.
Then as we say that, guess what?
They close up. You can see.
We come up on some lap cars, too.
Yeah.
We come up on some lap cars.
Looked like Krisloff was trying to do a little hand signal out the window, too.
He wants some help. Give me some help.
Craig Kinzer's girlfriend, Danielle Dubois, a little nervous.
Gonna lose a few pounds here today.
The laps are clinking down, 3 to go, and here's that traffic, Kenny. So now, if you're Craig Kinzer, you just hope they all stay to the bottom, you can whistle around the top?
Well, it looks like, you know, these guys, their spotters are telling them what's going on. Arca's giving them a move over flag. That's what should probably happen, which probably will. Looks like it's going to. But it's still, they just close up more and more all the time.
Krisloff trying to get a bit of a side draft off of some of those slower cars.
Look like it.
One thing you don't want to do is get too close to one of them slower cars and buff some of that air. And it just seems like sometimes it holds your car back. So you see they get a little bit of separation when they swing around the outside of them guys.
Well, that slowed Gerhardt down.
possibly this could help. If him and Crocker get a run here, that's really what they need. It's going to take a run to get around them front two, so this could be a big beneficial thing for them two guys.
White flag is out. Craig Kinzer with just one more lap at the Talladega Superspeedway. He joined his father earlier this year as a winner of the Knoxville Nationals, the biggest race in sprint car racing. And today, he's on his way to picking up a huge victory in stock car racing, just like his dad did, parking himself in victory lane at the Talladega Superspeedway if he can hang on for another mile or so.
You win at Talladega and win the Knoxville Nationals in the same year, I would say that young man has a very bright future in front of him. He definitely comes from good stock.
Here he comes through the trial for the final time with Krisaloff, Gerhard, and Crocker in tow. To the checkered flag, and Craig Kinzer has done it. He has won an Arca race in his second start, and he has done it at the biggest, fastest speedway on the tour, claiming the checkers at the Food World 300. Has to do is get him to hustle through victory lane so he can go get on the plane to go to Mechanicsburg and win at the Grove.
Well, I talked to some of his crew, and they said if we win the race here today, there's a good chance he won't race tonight. He said, but that's we really hope that he does win, but if he doesn't, he's going to miss his airplane. So I'm sure he'd rather win.
When they introduce him up there at the Grove tonight, he'll get a huge round of applause as the winner of the Arca Remax Series earlier today at Talladega. We'll come back to talk to Craig Kinzer in victory lane at Talladega when speed returns right after this.
This copyrighted telecast may not be reproduced, retransmitted, or used in any form without the authorized written consent of NASCAR Broadcasting. NASCAR would like to thank all of our loyal fans for your continued support, and we hope you enjoyed today's broadcast.